Welcome, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's yoga class. Today, we're going to challenge our balance as we work through our yoga sequence. So, you just need a little bit of space. You could use a yoga mat if you'd like. Since I'm on the carpet in my home, the yoga mat is slippery to me. So, I'm just going to use my yoga mat socks. You could use a block if you'd like, if that helps you with your balance. So, find your space. I'm going to take my glasses off and we can begin. Our spine. Lifting our shoulders to our ears, rolling them down our back, and closing our eyes as we turn our palms to face the sky. As we inhale, we'll fill our chest with air. And as we exhale, we'll draw a breath down our spine and towards our belly. Inhaling, filling our chest with air. Exhaling, drawing breath down our spine and towards our belly. Inhaling, filling our chest with air. Exhaling, drawing breath down our spine and towards our belly. Inhaling fully and pausing. Inhaling a little more. Exhaling fully and pausing. Exhaling just a little more. Begin to take breath at your own pace. Spending a little more time in your inhale if you're caring for your upper back, or a little more time in your exhale if you're caring for your lower back. Find the breath pattern that works for you. 2 more breath cycles or so. 1. Let's keep our eyes closed. Let's place our palms on our shins. Turn our knuckles to face the wall in front of us. Inching our feet to rest more underneath our knees than not in case our feet slip. Inhaling into our seated cow sternum, reaching forward. Exhaling into our seated cat, tucking our chin, tucking our tail. Inhaling into our cow, holding a quarter between our shoulder blades. Exhaling into our cat, creating space between each vertebra, aiming the shoulders to our hips. Taking 3 to 5 cat and cows, moving at the pace that's best for you. Eyes closed, you're focused not on what you look like, but focused on the way your spine feels at this moment. Slowing down to help release those tighter spaces. And after you've taken what's 3 to 5 for you, return back to that simple cross leg with your eyes closed, spine stacked, palms facing the sky. With our next inhale, we'll open our eyes and gaze forward. Noticing which leg we crossed in front, we'll bring our hands together and interlace that finger by our body. With an inhale, we'll draw our navel to our spine, extending our arms forward, lifting up. Exhale, releasing our shoulders down our back. Inhale, we'll slide our chin to the right like we're backing out of our parking spot. Exhale to center. With an inhale, we'll slide our chin to the left. Exhale to center. With an inhale, we'll gaze to our fingers. We'll slowly exhale, gaze forward, gently undoing the interlace, extending our arms out, finding the muscular resistance, pausing in parallel. We'll draw our right hand behind us, hook our left arm to the outside of our leg. Inhale, lengthening, creating space. Exhale, turning our belly, our heart, and our gaze. Inhale, lengthening while we're in our twist, creating space. Exhale, seeing where the space allows us to go. With our next inhale, we'll uncoil. Let's return back to center. Take our hands shoulder distance apart in front of us. Inhale, elongating our spine. Exhale, shimming our fingers forward, going only as far forward as we don't round our back. We'll aim our shoulders to our hips. We'll draw our navel to our spine. We'll extend our sternum forward. Closing our eyes, inhale, we shimmy our fingers to the left, going only as far forward and to the side as we don't lift our glutes. At the last moment, we'll press our fingertips into the ground. We'll rotate our chest a little bit more into alignment with our left leg. Inhale, we'll fill our right lung with air, expanding our lung capacity, stretching our shirt. Exhale, a nourishing breath to our lower back. One more nice long inhalation. And an equally long exhale. Inhale, we'll walk our hands through center and over to the right. Once again, we only go as far forward and to the right as we can without our glutes lifting. At the last moment, we press our fingertips into the ground. We rotate our chest in the direction of our right leg. Inhale, we'll fill our left lung with air, expanding our lung capacity, stretching out our shirt. Exhale, a nourishing breath to our lower back. One more nice long inhalation. And an equally long exhale. Staying low, we'll walk our hands through center. We'll walk our hands back to our body, opening our eyes as we restack our spine. We'll lift up our knees and we'll crisscross our legs in the other direction, allowing our feet to rest more underneath our knees. Then now we'll bring our hands back to prayer and we'll interlace the other finger of our body. Inhale, we draw our navel to our spine, extending our arms forward, lifting up. Exhale, we'll release our shoulders down our back. Inhale, sliding our chin to the left like we're backing out of our parking spot. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, we'll slide our chin to the right. Exhale to center. With an inhale, we'll gaze to our fingers. We'll slowly exhale, gaze forward, gently undoing the interlace, extending our arms out, finding the muscular resistance, pausing it parallel. We'll draw our left hand behind us, hook our right arm to the outside of our leg. Inhale, lengthening, creating space. Exhale, we'll turn our belly, our heart, and our gaze. Inhale, lengthening, creating space. Exhale, seeing where the space allows us to go. With our next inhale, we'll uncoil. Let's return back to center. This time we'll lift up our knees. We'll take a 3/4 extension of our legs. We'll have our hands rest behind us, fingers aiming forward about shoulder distance apart. With an inhale, we'll draw our navel to our spine. We'll bend our elbows back. Exhale, we'll spread effort between our 10 fingers and we'll find our tabletop, holding that imaginary shoe between our thighs. Or we'll extend our legs, still holding that imaginary shoe between our thighs. We're either gazing past our knees or our tippy toes, even weight distribution through our hands for 3 more breaths. Hold the imaginary orange between our chin and our chest for 2. 1. With an exhale, we soften our knees, our glutes lower to the ground, and we'll find our way to all fours. On all fours, let's gently bring our right thigh close to parallel to the ground, even weight distribution through hands. We can stay here, 3 limbs of balance, or extend that left arm back. Or perhaps capture the foot, pressing our foot into our hands, stretching out our quad, opening the left shoulder girdle. 3 more breaths, gazing between our thumbs or at our right thumb. 2. 1. Exhale, we'll release to all fours. And we'll switch sides. We'll bring our left thigh close to parallel, squaring our hips and shoulders. Stay here, 3 limbs of balance. Maybe extend the right arm back, maybe capture the foot. Gaze at both thumbs or just the left for 3 more breaths. 2. 1. With an exhale, we'll return back to all fours. We'll put that imaginary quarter on our back. Inhale, we'll lift our quarter to the sky into our exaggerated cat. We'll curl our toes and we'll find our first down dog high on our tippy toes. With an inhale, we'll bend one knee, lower the opposite heel. Exhale, vice versa. Pedaling at our feet. Stretching our calves and our Achilles with a conservative knee bend. Taking a little bit more adventurous knee bend to get into our lower back. Customizing our practice for 3 more breath cycles. 2. 1. Inhaling high on our tippy toes. Exhale, we'll simultaneously lower our heels towards the mat. We'll draw our thighs to the wall behind us. We'll lift our shoulders to our hips, turn our armpits towards our yogi mat neighbors, gazing to our navel. We'll nod yes and no. Bring our head, neck, and shoulders. We'll allow our head to be passive. And we'll start to walk our hands back to our feet, softening our knees if our hamstrings prefer. When we arrive at the back of our mat, we'll take the knee bend we need. Exhale, bending our elbows wide, folding our heart to our thighs, lifting our shoulders to our hips, nodding yes and no. Bring our head, neck, and shoulders. Let our head be passive. Allow gravity to do some of the work. With an exhale, we'll take a deep bend in our knees, hands to our hips, tailbone descends, spine stacks. We'll gently bring ourselves to upright, lifting our arms high, palms connect. Exhale, elbows bend, thumbs descend, lengthening our triceps. Inhale, fingers high. Exhale, deep knee bend protects our back as we hinge. Inhaling into our half lift, hands anywhere but our knees. Exhale, bending our elbows, folding our heart to our thighs. We'll soften our knees, place our fingers by our toes, and we'll walk ourselves out into our plank. Carefully lowering to our bellies, allowing the fronts of our feet to touch. Inhaling into our cobra, shoulders roll to our ears and down our back, holding that imaginary quarter between our shoulders for 2 more breaths. 1. We'll gently curl our toes and press through our heels in a chaturanga. And inhale into our downward facing dog. From our down dog, we'll walk footprint by footprint, long, slow movement, stretching our hamstrings. And when we arrive at the front of our mat, we'll take a deep bend in our knees. We'll place our chest and our thighs, elbows behind our knees, wrists behind our ankles, and we'll surrender the crown of our head down. Inhaling, we'll lengthen our spine without losing the connection of our chest and our thighs, our arms and our legs. Our shoulders lift to our hips, our navel draws in, finding a passive stretch of our hamstrings, letting gravity do some of the work. Eyes closed, smiling in the direction of our legs. 2 more breaths wherever we are. 1. Exhale, deep bend in our knees. Hands to our hips, tailbone descends, spine stacks. We bring ourselves back to upright, lifting our arms high. Exhale, mini back bend, elbows wide, heart lifts, give card between our legs. Inhale, fingers high. Exhale, deep knee bend protects our back as we hinge. Inhaling into our half lift, hands anywhere but our knees. Exhale, bending our elbows, folding our heart to our thighs. We'll soften our knees, place our fingers by our toes, and we'll stride back with our left leg. Let's today keep our left heel over our toes rather than our heel aiming to the ground. You could place blocks underneath your fingers if you wish. Inhale, rounding our back, straightening our legs, gazing to our shin, lifting up our right toes to create more space. Exhaling into our lunge, knee over ankle, shoulders lengthened to our hips. Inhale, rounding our back, straightening our legs, gazing to our shin. Exhaling into our lunge, knee over ankle, heel over toes. 2 more, rounding our back, straightening our legs, gazing to our shin. Exhaling into our lunge. 1 more, rounding our back, straightening our legs, gazing to our shin. Exhaling into our lunge. Let's soften our left knee, tuck our left knee to join our right, and we'll stand tall, impersonating our flamingo. Externally rotating, finding a tree with our tiptoe on the floor, foot to our calf, or perhaps foot in the inner aspect of our thigh. Avoiding any sideways pressure on our knee, our tailbone descends to the ground, our crown of our head lifts to the sky. We can keep our hands on our lower body, protecting our spine, protecting our back. We could keep our hands at prayer. Perhaps our arms elongate, lifting. Maybe shoulder distance apart, maybe cactus. Maybe holding elbows behind our back, a reverse angel wing, a reverse prayer. Our greatest challenge would be closing our eyes, finding our tree of choice for 3 more breaths. 2. 1. We'll open our eyes. If they're closed, we'll meet with our hands on our hips, releasing our left leg down, wiggling out our feet. Inhale, sweeping our arms high. Right first finger and thumb around our left wrist. Inhale, we lift up. And with an exhale, we lift over, stretching to the side, holding that imaginary beach ball between our rib and our hip. Inhale, back to center. Keep that gift card between our legs. We'll switch hands. Left first finger and thumb around our right wrist. Inhale, we hold the gift card, extend. Exhale, we reach over, stretching from our right hip to our shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, deep knee bend protects our back as we hinge. Inhaling into our half lift. Exhale, bending our elbows, folding our heart to our thighs. We'll soften our knees, place our fingers by our toes, and we'll stride back with our right leg. This time we're keeping our right heel over our toes, hands on the floor on a block. Inhale, rounding our back, straightening our legs, gazing to our shin. lifting our left toes if we want more space. Exhaling into our lunge, shoulders lengthen to our hips. 3 more, rounding our back, straightening our legs, gazing to our shin. Exhaling into our lunge, knee over ankle. 2 more, rounding our back, straightening our legs, gazing to our shin. Exhaling into our lunge. 1 more, rounding our back, straightening our legs, gazing to our shin. Exhaling into our lunge. Let's soften our right knee, tuck our right knee in to join our left. Standing tall, impersonating our flamingo once again, we'll externally rotate that right leg. Tippy toe to the floor, foot to the calf, or inner aspect of our thigh, avoiding that sideways pressure in our knee. Tailbone descends, crown of our head lifts, and we find our tree of choice on the second side. We have a second opportunity to expand our chest while we balance on the left for the first time and open that right hip. Eyes open or closed, gazing at a spot on the floor in front of us for 3 more breaths. Our eyes are closed. It's that imaginary focal point for 2. 1. Let's meet with our hands on our hips, our eyes open. We release that right foot down, wiggling at our feet. Inhale, sweeping our arms high. Exhale, mini back bend, elbows wide, heart lifts, gift card between our legs. Inhale, fingers high. Exhale, deep knee bend, protects our back as we hinge. Inhaling into our half lift. Exhale, bending our elbows, holding our heart to our thighs. We'll soften our knees, place our fingers by our toes, and we'll stride back with our left leg. Left palm or fist under our shoulder, or use a block if you wish. Inhale, right hand slides past our knee, past our shoulder to the sky. We're going to hold that beach ball between our left rib and our right thigh. Maybe we stay here. Perhaps we pivot our toes to the right so we can get into our IT bend. Maybe we find a side plank. Customizing our practice for 3 more breaths, reaching to the sky. 2 more breaths wherever we happen to be. 1. With an exhale, we'll meet in our lunge. We'll bring our left heel to the ground, hands to prayer by our right big toe. Inhale, our legs are strong. Exhale, we lift up into our warrior 1. Shoulders roll to our ears and down our back. We can stay here in our warrior 1 with our arms extended, maybe interlace or cactus arms. We'll find a spot to look at in front of us. We'll look at that spot, gliding our eyes up our wall to the ceiling, finding that back bend. Hot air balloon lifting our heart to the sky. Shoulder blades drawing down our back. Thighs drawing to the midline for 2 more breaths. 1. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, we'll cartwheel our hands down, step back into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog. And in our down dog, we'll look to our hands. We'll soften our knees. We'll step our left foot forward into our lunge. With an inhale, we'll slide our left hand past our shoulder, past our knee to the sky. Stay here, reaching our left arm to the sky, holding the beach ball between our right rib and our left thigh. Or perhaps pivot onto the little toe side of our left foot. Or maybe we find our side plank. 3 more breaths wherever we are, lifting out of the floor, reaching to the sky for 2. 1. With an exhale, we'll find our way back into that simple lunge. Right heel pivots to the ground, hands to prayer by our left big toe. Inhale, our legs are strong. Exhale, we float up into our warrior 1. Shoulders roll to our ears and down our back. Finding the hand position that's best for you. Shoulder width interlace or cactus. Hot air balloon lifting our heart to the sky. Shoulders drawing down and in. Thighs drawing muscularly towards the midline. We find more strength if we press the little toe side of our back foot into an imaginary baseboard. 1 more breath. Inhale, fingers high. Exhale, hands under our shoulders. We'll step back into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog. We can stay here with our big toes touching. Or lift our right leg high. Maybe come up onto the ball of our left foot. Perhaps bend our knees, stack our hip, gaze under our armpit at our heel. Stillness stretches the quad, circling the knee unlocks the hip. Customizing our practice for 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Let's all look to our hands, so we'll step our right foot forward into our lunge. Pivot the left up 45, heel to heel, prepare for humble warrior. Right knee over ankle, we gaze to our foot, we'll sweep our hands back. Interlacing the left finger by our sacrum. With an inhale, we'll reach our hands away from our body to the ceiling, towards the wall in front of us. Stay as we are, crown of our head surrender. No strain in our neck. Maybe knee on the ground, or perhaps challenging our balance with toppling tree. If you're on carpet like I am, it's much more challenging than if you were on a floor because of the carpet padding. 4 more breaths wherever our body's taking us. Gazing somewhere around our right foot, no matter where we are, for 3. 2 more breaths wherever you happen to be. 1. With an exhale, toppling trees come down. Knees on the ground build up gracefully. We'll meet with our interlaced hands on our sacrum. With an exhale, our sacrum descends. We gently begin to restack our spine. And when shoulders are over hips, we pause. Inhale, we fill our chest. With an exhale, our eyes and our hands glide in opposite directions. We find warrior 1 once again. This time with our humble warrior arms, creating space between our shoulders and our ears. 1 more breath. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, externally rotating that left hip, warrior 2, palms up. Inhale, our right arm slides forward a little. Exhaling into our reverse warrior with or without a bind. So we can bring the left hand towards our right hip, reach our right hand to our left ankle. Capture our shirt or capture our fingers. Stretching from right hip to shoulder, lengthening left hip to heel. 1 more breath. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, we'll cartwheel our hands down, step back into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog with our big toes touching. Stay here, or lift our left leg high. Maybe come up onto the ball of our right foot. Perhaps bend our knees, stack our hip, gaze under our right armpit at our left heel. Stillness allows the quad to stretch. Circling the knee in space unlocks the hip. Find where you'd like to be for 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Let's all look to our hands. And we'll step our left foot forward into our lunge, knee over ankle. Pivot the right heel down, 45 degrees, heel to heel. Preparing for humble warrior, we'll sweep our hands back, interlacing the right finger by our sacrum. Inhale, our hands draw away from our body to the ceiling, to the wall in front. Stay in humble warrior here, knee on the ground. Or toppling tree, challenging our balance. Wherever we are, we're gazing around our left foot for 4 more breaths. 3, 2, 1. With an exhale, toppling trees gracefully come down, knees on the ground, gracefully build up. We meet with our interlaced hands in our sacrum. Then exhale, our hands encourage our tailbone to descend, strengthening our lower back. We stack shoulders over hips. Inhale, our chest fills. Exhale, our eyes and our hands glide in opposite directions. Warrior 1 with our humble warrior arms. 2 more breaths. The little toe side of our back foot presses into that imaginary backboard. 1. Inhale, traditional warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2, palms up. Inhale, left arm slides forward a little. Exhaling into that reverse warrior with or without our bind, yogi choice. Stretching from our left hip to our shoulder. Lengthening, strengthening right hip to heel. 3 more breaths wherever we are. 2, 1. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, we'll cartwheel our hands down, step back. Inhale, up dog, curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog. Let's aim our right coming off. It's 4 more breaths. Hips. Inhale, we fill our chest. Exhale, our foot. Maybe we allow our eagle to fly. Deciding where you'd like to be, or your back. 2, back to the perch. We'll all uncoil, balancing on our right leg. Step our both knees square. Or return to prayer with our hands. And step our left leg forward into a prayer squat. Keeping knee and hip in alignment with both knees squared. Hands in prayer fly or bind. Stay here. Or side crow. Hands in alignment with our shoulder and hip and our knee. Balancing on our triceps for 4, 3, 2, 1. Side crows, meet back in prayer. Prayer, stride back. We'll fly with our left knee up length of our sun crow. Hands in prayer, fly or bind. Knee up or down. Stay here. We'll return to prayer with our hands and step the right foot forward. Maybe hands at prayer, fly or bind. Or perhaps prayer stride back. We'll bend. Maybe bring our side up, our hands to the right. Eyes are closed and active. So then facing hamstrings. So then facing hamstrings. Imagine toss our back. 2, 1. Curling. Joining our friends in down dogs. Curling our toes. Joining our front hop. Maybe bend our knees, our hips as we've already done. Still rest in down our heart. Exhale, one left. In up dog. Curling our toes. Joining our friends in dogs. Our big toes touch as we've already done. Stillness or circling you. Maybe flipping our dog to somewhere we second side. Or breath for dog. 2. Inhale, bring down dog. 3 more breaths for dog. 2, 1. Inhale, down dog. Bring down dog. So we'll step our left foot forward in, right up 40 seconds. Maybe flipping our dog to send our feet to the second side. 3 more breaths for dog. 2, 1. Inhale, down, bring down dog. Look for our hands. Step our left forward. Feel the arch. You're trying to on the floor. And we lengthen from left hip down, hip to our hands. Short thigh, stacking the right hip on top, reach arm to the sky. Inhale, look down to our shoulder. Lift arms. Exhale, look up to our shoulder. Right. Taking care of both our cervical and thoracic spine. Maybe taking that half bind. Rest into a big fourth. 1. Exhale, mortise. We'll hug our and inhale and return back to center. Maybe we'll take our hands underneath our left knee. We'll check the left knee. Then maybe hold our shins or toes and we'll our body us. Imagine being a little, releasing, keep strap on. Imagine someone in front of you holding onto your rope, giving you a little bit of slack, so you must go back down around. Exhale, releasing, heels to front, arms extend. Imagine there's someone in front of you holding onto your rope, giving you a little bit of slack, so you must go back around. Extend one hand at a time. Reach your fingers and toes away from the midline of our body. Exhale, let it go. 1. Let's gently hug our thighs into our chest. Let's gently hug our thighs into our chest. Pointing and flexing our feet. Our eyes are still closed. We'll take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we'll curl our head, neck, and shoulders to release from a nice little ball of our bodies. And our torso will descend. We'll start lifting our shoulders to our ears, rolling them down our back. And now the golf ball's on our right shoulder. We lift our right ear up and move it. Left fingers with a feather-like tongue. Lengthening and opening. With an exhale, chin in like collarbone. The left hand descends. And our chin to our chest. Our shoulders roll to our ears and down our back. Let's reach our hands back behind us. Our fingers by our sacrum. We're going to reach our hands